Good evening, members of the 60 series community, 62s. Toyota Matt here. Trying something new. Instead of text typing a mile, perhaps do a brief tech video in my solutions thread and only have to paddle a quarter mile. We'll have to see how this works. So I got some exciting news. In the center of the table lies a cylindrical roller bearing. Part number 88440-260 for the 8 of 80 to 9 of 87 2F and earlier 40s. It's been discontinued for years. Well, not anymore. I have repurposed it, redesigned it, re-engineered it, and reintroduced it. It will be now 88440-261-R. The -R is important because it stands for reissue, reproduction, redesign. It can mean anything really with an R in it, you know. But it's important to distinguish this. This is 100% Toyota genuine parts in every way. I've sourced 3 different vehicles, 1 USA and 2 non-USA, to get the individual parts. Whoops. Individual parts to make this happen. Now the black bracket will not be included with my kit. And that's just a prop right now. But it's similar to the original 260, with the exception of 260 should go through the back. Mine, however, goes through the front. And there's a stainless steel flat washer. I couldn't find a wide flange bolt or nut. So to disperse the weight and for durability reasons, I've got a thin wall stainless steel washer, which is also a Toyota part. It's actually a Yamaha part, and since Toyota owns Yamaha, it classifies. The biggest part of this is aligning the thin kerfs, but I measured the standoff from this point to this point is exactly 5 millimeters, the same as the 260. The roller ball is the same diameter and inner bore. So 88440-261-R interchanges and supersedes 88440-260. This right here, I probably worked on for, off and on for about a year, and finally, it's here. So, but again, the black bracket doesn't come with it, but you should have one on your truck anyway. Included in my kit will be a little disposable tube of blue thread locker, which will be required on that back side. I use serviceable Loctite on everything I reassemble that doesn't have heat contacting it, so that'll be a required step. I thought about red Loctite, but might be overkill. What else? For the sniper crowd, I have a laser etched anodized TEQ block off plate. It's it went along with the next surprise, which some of you all know, that Houston, the TEQ has landed. So let me grab that off the shelf real quick. There we go. I'm nothing less than extremely proud of the billet aluminum choke knob for the FJ60. It came out period correct and perfect in every way. A lot of work on the fonts to get them right. I have a partner involved in this, somebody with some more experience in making certain decisions, with a business savvy thing. So he's more of a creative artist and a visionary, and someone I someone I mentor and aspire to. So I'd like to thank him for his efforts and for taking me under his wing and teaching me what it takes to pull this SHEET sheet off. Pull this sheet off, because I tell you what, man, there's nothing, I have an obsession with choke knobs and pull switches of all kinds, anything that illuminates and sparkles in the Land Cruiser, and I tell you what, man, I'm proud of this. It's definitely on my resume. So, and now it's available to everyone in the 60 series community that needs one. So it's here. What else we got going on? Let's see, where do we want to begin? This switch. This is a non-USA switch, and it is a 60 series size spec. However, in America, the switch panel is 2 millimeters. It closes in. I've mounted one here, and you can see there's an orientation curve here. But where the red ink is, you'd have to file with a jeweler's file 1 millimeter out of this on the top and the bottom to get this to fit in. But it does fit, as you can see. So this is a rad switch, man. I've got a case of them, and LED bulb update and everything. And that's, you can switch the fog logo around to go, front fogs or rear fogs. So my little 60 series test panel switch there. So that's another little unicorn. Got some OEM, some new, 100% new Toyota genuine parts. LED bulb equipped. Room lamps for the 60 series and 62. This is the ivory color. I'm trying to source gray, but can't find it anywhere. Maybe they don't make it anymore. Once again, Toyota gives the Land Cruiser community the shaft. But, we deal, and when we don't deal, we make it, right? So, that's what you get. And you know what? That's pretty damn bright. I'm going to turn my shop light off here. But, that's 8000K cool white. It's pretty hit, man. And I could find a brighter bulb, but I don't think I want to go brighter. So next up, we have a cargo lamp. Of course, another new Toyota genuine part in every way. Simply remove the Kyoto filament out of it and installed, an OEM bulb. OEM LED bulb. So I would venture to say for sure that hopefully I could get this thing to turn on. Huh. Maybe the bulb's in backwards. Interesting. Yeah, the thing with LEDs is, if you're gonna do it, go the full mount. There we go. That must be a brighter bulb. That's a hell of a lot brighter than what was in the other one. I just grabbed the festoon bulbs I had, but that's the cargo lamp. Maybe you need more light in cargo, huh? To see your cargo. So, pretty cool in its own right. And lastly, a prototype of mine. I have polarized internally and converted the inspection lamp to 8000K cool white. Now, when I look at that and I close my eyes, I see green spots. So I wouldn't look directly into the LED. But when you're working on your truck out in the, out in the ditch, and you got your ditch lamps on, well, I'm sure that something like this will come in handy. Anyway, that'll be up on the site soon. What else? We gotta be quick with the video. This rendering time is gonna be like long. Okay, next up is how many people know about butterfly keys? Toyota, let's get this light right. Toyota had in the 70s what's called a butterfly key. And this key, get some light on here, is, you can see how wide it is. It's mostly the length of my pointer finger, half of it. I would gather to say this is about 2 solid inches wide. And when you look on the microfiche, TEQ logo, it's kind of tiny. They didn't make it pretty pronounced, but you know, it's got the key code on the shaft. It's OEM key. And it says cold climate spec or Arctic spec. Well, I wondered, scratched my head, well, why would they say that for a while? It turns out when you got snow gloves on in the Arctic, you need a wide key so your Burton snowboard gloves mittens could grab the key and turn it. I searched high and low for these blanks. They don't exist anymore. However, came across these. Hino and Daihatsu. Well, with a little research, Toyota owns outright 100% of Hino and Daihatsu. Now, if you take a look at that Daihatsu key and the Toyota key, well, we get the lighting right here. It's kind of hard. They're apples and apples, peas and carrots. They're the same damn size. The Hino key is a little rounded, so maybe that's for the missus, like Mrs. Seth and her Honda. Maybe she'll be driving the 60 and the Hino. But these are all the TR33 profiles, so I'll be able to cut these on my key machine to any 60 or 60 series K series key code, or for that matter, an R series key code for the Hilux crowd, or an F series key code for the like the car crowd, Tercel 4x4 wagons. I'm not too much of a fan of the Hino key. It's kind of rounded and it's not as wide. I like the straight lines of the Daihatsu key and the fact that it matches the Toyota key so well. I mean, it's literally its cousin or whatever. I don't know. The Hino key is kind of cool. It's a little heavier, a little solid nickel. And then I'm trying to get more of these first generation black tops, but maybe that bucket from Lithuania was it, man. This is the last one. I saved one, but these were cool while they were around. So what's we going to wrap up with? Well, I like to introduce this is for the 62 people too, because I try to balance what I do between the two vehicles or do something in harmony. But this is we're going to close on 62. I want to introduce everybody to. Introduce everybody to Medusa. I've nicknamed this instructional aid and live working prototype because I needed to mock everything up. But this is a 3FE thermostat housing. Those of you with 62s and 80s with the 3FE, notice you've had to booger with these sensors and have thermostat housing issues. The upper housing has been discontinued by Toyota, but the lower housing is still available at your local dealer. You will pay a mortgage payment for it. I priced one recently and I couldn't believe it, but these are both NOS. What I wanted to do was make life easier for you 62 folks. When you go to change your thermostat or you run into a sensory problem, well, what happens? Right? These sensors disintegrate, and so does the connector plug. So on the site, I've got the sensors listed right now, but I'm going to add the connectors. You're going to get an OE sensor, and you're going to get a service spec connector with the correct color-coded tracer stripe wire. Plug and play, repair style. You get the sensor, sender, and the OEM correct color-coded tracer stripe wire, as well as the connector plug. So it's going to be a repair kit. It'll come with a crush washer too, but it took me a while to figure out where to put the colored wires. I had to find a pinout chart for 62 and not really available. And this connector here proved to be a real challenge. I had to source it from Japan, but that is not a common connector. This connector is only used on its Turbo Supra. And I don't know, it's used on like a knock sensor on a JZ Supra, 2JZE, something like that. If I said that right. There's a little bit of a stumble there. The BVSV, or vacuum port, will come with an ample supply of OEM Toyota, and that is factory vacuum line. No skimping here at Toyota Matt's Skunkworks Lab. We only use factory. This is the long one. This is 999-92008. So maybe I'll shorten it up a tad, because this is the expensive piece. But you know, it's you got your water temperature sender here, the green one. That's your cold start injector thermal time switch. The gauge in the dash got the pink wire, and I don't know what the BVSV does, to be honest with you. I have to figure that out, but it'll come with gaskets and everything. And you know, if somebody mounts, but the sensors will be available individually. They're not going to be a kit. It's going to be what you need, a la carte. But it'll come with, you know, what you need: a crush washer, an O-ring, you know, pigtail wires. I'm going to try to do 12 inches. I think that's important because, you know, 6 inches is kind of short, you know, if the wire has to go back and be rerouted. So, well, that's Medusa, and Medusa is here to serve the 62 people and make life easier because as time goes on, man, Toyota's just going to continue to forget about us, and it's up to us to come together as a community and a tribe and make things happen like this. So, you know, I feel obligated to help people, and well, I think this is going to be a big hand. So, what else I got? I think that's it. I'm gonna continue to slam a Red Bull. Tonight we're drinking coconut Red Bull, and continue to package packages and keep the shipping and receiving department active here at the Skunkworks. So bad things don't happen. All right, thank you for your support, and Toyota Matt over and out.